Welcome to the ultimate backstage pass, the pulsating heart of the high school sports universe. Get ready to rock with the gang from the Corner to Corner podcast as they take their sports obsessions to new heights. Meet the dream team, Sean Kuiper, Adam Muncy, Wes Crouch, and Daron Stevens, as they unpack the secrets, emotions, and triumphs that light up our local sports heroes. Whether you're gearing up for a game or unleashing cheers from the stands, get ready for an exclusive scoop that'll knock your socks off. It's showtime.
From the corner to the corner, we bring the heat. High school pride, we're repping every street. Sean, Wes, Adam, Daron on the beat. Downtown Mount Sterling, where the fans all meet. From the corner to the corner, we bring the heat.
Hey everybody, welcome in to our 5th season kickoff, our 4th anniversary. We've been cutting the ribbon out front. We've got a studio audience full of people.
You about Ric chopped me just now.
You did. I didn't rehearse with you being here. So super excited. Guys, let's talk about what's transpired in the last hour. I mean, it was awesome. We had half the community here welcoming us in with the Chamber of Commerce. That was a pretty cool little ceremony. We got our ribbon over on the table. We've got all of our Cornie Award winners here tonight, so really excited about that. We must be doing something right if they all said yes.
This is true.
Right?
You went 9 for 9. I was expecting 0 for 9.
You all told me and Daron it wouldn't be possible, and they're all here. So
you promised food, though. We didn't know food was
well, hey, look,
Yeah,
I am a professional salesperson. I know how to close the deal, So, speaking of closing deals, we got some brand new sponsors. One of them is Rumpke. Rumpke came to us. They're going to be our Dog of the Week sponsor. And, Daron, are you ready?
Yep, he's ready.
Our sponsor for this segment right here, which is the Rumpke Week That Was. So, coming into this new season, what we're going to do, we'll do a flashback of the previous week. We'll talk about some of the highs and lows, talk about who our guests were the previous week, whatever we want to talk about because it's our show, right? So thank you to Rumpke for that. They come on board. Super excited to have them. And we have crossed the finish line in Bath County, and we now have a Bath County sponsor for our Athlete of the Month. So welcome to Swartz Pipeline and Swartz Mowing for coming on board with that. Really excited to be working with those new sponsors on that, and super excited for that part of it as well.
100%.
Yeah. So we got them all here tonight, right? So we're going to start the show off with Brevin Ricker and Shaylin Baker from Menifee County. Then we're going to have Bath County on. We've got Mike Adams, the AD, here to accept the award for the People's Champ, and we got Montana Brashear here, and then Robbie Graham will be on for GRC. And then we'll wrap the show up with Jason Mays and Caden Reed. So super excited about tonight. Couldn't do it without all of the community support. And guys, that countdown was awesome. Let's give Daron a round of applause because he doesn't get enough credit for how awesome he does on our video and our sound. And you look back 2 years ago and see where we were then, and the fact that we're standing in a virtual studio now.
Yep.
Thanks to Tanya Witt, by the way, for the help with that.
Wait a minute. We're not sitting at a studio desk?
No. Completely fake.
Hey, you're not supposed to tell them that. You're supposed to just go with the flow.
Yeah, well,
Adam tried to set a piece of paper.
you can literally look at the screen and know that it's
set a
fake.
piece of paper on the desk.
Yeah, so.
But listen, I mean, the virtual studio is awesome too, because not only will we have our, have our first segment here, but if we talk about something, we get a video from you all, and that's key. Make sure you send your videos to us, because if we get those videos and we're talking about the week that was, then we can put that clip right up in behind us and everybody can watch that. So it's going to be on you all to, help us out to do that and shine the spotlight on athletes even that much more.
Yeah.
And if we don't get those clips, then we'll be like the news and we'll just put the sky behind you.
Exactly.
Right.
Mel Sterling Skycam this week.
Let's talk about the heat. It's going to be in the 90s all week.
Thunderstorms moving in northeast.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to thank our sponsors, and then we will be back with Menifee County, and that is Rumpkin County's week that was.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to have the driveway shoveled, his part of the big lunch meeting, and the birthday gift for the niece that was due yesterday. That means Anthony made it on time to watch the big game and see the home team score the winning shot. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
I still can't believe she's gone. I don't know how we're going to plan all of this.
I know. I felt the same way when your granddad passed. The Kaufman Funeral Home really helped us get through it.
Were they compassionate?
More than that, they took care of us. They made us feel like family. They handled the entire situation from beginning to end.
At Kaufman Funeral Home and Crematorium in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, we're honored to walk beside your family with dignity and compassion every step of the way.
That's exactly what we need right now.
Kaufman Funeral Home, where we believe every life is a beautiful story that deserves to be honored with love, dignity, and heartfelt celebration.
Spring is here. Are you sure your roof is ready for the rain? Winter weather can leave behind hidden damage like loose shingles, cracked flashing, and clogged gutters, all of which can lead to costly leaks. At CRC Roofing and Renovations, we provide expert spring roof maintenance, leak prevention, and repairs to keep your home safe and dry. Don't wait until water damage ruins your home. Call CRC Roofing and Renovations today at 859-327-3913 or visit our website to schedule your free spring roof inspection. Protect your home with Central Kentucky's trusted roofing experts.
Got a dent or scratch, no need to despair. Jacob's Auto Body, we're beyond compare. Custom paint, so sleek, insurance on our side. 70 years of trust, we're your hometown pride. Jacob's Auto Body will make it like new. 859-274-7425 is the clue. Jacob's Auto Body, run the show.
Studio. I don't know that I want to stand the entire time, but
Well, I mean, it's easy for you all to say. I was not standing.
that's true. Yeah, you were on a stool.
Yeah, it was kind of nice.
I wasn't allowed to have a stool. I'm too short. So, anyways, we got Menifee County here. We got Brevin Ricker with us, who was the winner of our Dog of the Year, which, you know, he's got the broken wrist, so it's kind of obvious on that.
You know, I saw people on the internet actually talking whether it was more impressive for Kurt Angle to win a gold medal with a broke freaking neck or Brevin Ricker to win the Dog of the Year with 2 broken wrists.
I mean,
There's an argument to be
There's
made.
an argument to be had.
it's pretty close.
Yeah. Not only that, but we talked to him last week. It was a year and a half with broken wrist, right? It wasn't just a month.
And
he's-
who wants a gold medal
Right.
when you can have a Cornie?
Absolutely. These are classic. These are fresh, newly designed, hot off the press, made by our friends at Innovative Design.
Has anybody else gotten an actual award
Nope.
to date?
This is the first time
That's right.
that we've ever done it. So, and then we have Shaylin Baker down on the other end there. She was our female athlete of the year. So, congratulations to both you guys.
Don't clap too hard.
Yeah.
Please.
Trust me, Akeem doesn't want you to get any more injuries there. So, I mean, thank you all for taking some time out. You know, Brevin, back-to-back weeks here. You was here last week talking about your getting ready to go to Midway, but we're going to talk a little bit about Menifee County tonight and, you know, just how important it was. Both of you guys were the leaders of your team. Shaylin, we saw such growth in your game this year from your junior year, and, you know, that's a testament to the hard work that you put into the gym and, you know, just basically kind of changed your game. You wanted to spend a lot more time driving down the lane this year than, you know, shooting from the outside. Is that something that you intentionally decided you wanted to do?
Yeah, I guess.
There you go. There you go.
Good job.
Hey,
She's not shy at all.
That may
Yes or no
be the
questions.
most words she said on this show
I
in
think so.
2 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was obvious, especially in tournament time, when we saw, you know, when we were watching on on Facebook that it was like Shay said, "Listen, everybody get on my back, and we're gonna win this district and go as far as we can in the region." So it was awesome to watch you play and really just take advantage of just the whole thing. Just say, it's my game. I'm getting ready to be done with school, so I'm gonna make the best of it.
Shaylin, let's finish this out. So your senior year, you come into Menifee County. That group is a talented group as a whole. All 1 through 5, you all were extremely talented. One of the most talented classes to ever come out of Menifee County, probably. And like Wes said, it comes to district tournament time, and it was like, I need this district tournament. Did you feel like your legacy at Menifee County maybe needed a district title and a region appearance?
Yeah, I really wanted it for my senior year because I wasn't going to go play college basketball. So I gave it all I could.
She told us she was only giving yes or no answers.
Listen,
I set it up perfect
awesome.
for yes or no.
That
That was a great answer.
The district tournament, the district championship game was something to behold. I mean, you could see Round County kind of go, oh,
we don't have an answer for that.
Well, no, they did, and then at the end of the game, they're like, we just got beat. Yeah, you did, because you're that starting 5 and just said, we're going to control this game. We're going to go out and win this thing. Yeah. I mean, that has to be a pretty good feeling for your senior year.
And not even just that, but in the first round of the regions against Boyd County, Boyd County kind of controlled that first half, and then it was a completely different ball game in the second half.
Yeah,
and a lot of that had to do with Shaylin just kind of basically taking over the game, and she gave them fits. She got in the lane, got down to the basket, and was drawing fouls, and it frustrated Boyd County. You literally could see it on their face. Chase was with us while we were watching, so he kept telling us that, are you guys watching what's going on here? But I mean, Chase was all over it, wasn't he, Daron?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was definitely fun to watch on that part of it.
Shaylin, when you get to Morehead State and you play at a first time ever playing at Morehead State and it's your senior year, was that a special type of environment for you?
It wasn't the first time that we played there.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably know better than I would.
We've been a few times with his dad.
You were on that team?
Yeah.
Gosh.
So you played varsity ball
since 7th grade.
Yeah. Okay. So for 6 years. Gotcha.
Brevin, on to you.
Adam didn't do his homework.
I did not. Brevin, senior year, we've talked about the 2 broken wrists 100 times. That's why you got the dog of the year. At what point did you just say, I'm just going to fight through the pain and make the most of this?
I would say the night that it happened, during that Bath County game, as soon as I did it, I was just like, that kind of feels a little weird. Adrenaline pumping, didn't really feel it. That night, felt it. Okay, that morning, felt it. From then on, I was just like, it's just a sprain. I'll get over it. I mean, I guess it's just that mentality of.
So Bath County game was 10 games into the season.
Something like that. Yeah, it was very early.
Gotcha. So was it early in that game that it happened?
Well, I think so. It was whenever you remember the game that Gage Jolly got ejected the first 2 minutes. It was probably a minute or 2 after that.
It's Gage Jolly football, baby.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wait a minute. You said Gage. Was that?
It was last year.
That was the junior year. Yeah.
That was this one.
So, okay. So it's not just this year.
No.
It was the last part of it was some of last year also.
Yeah, and I was also thinking that it was my left hand. I didn't really use it that much. It just held the ball up there when I shot.
How much adjustment was that at first when you know you're in pain with the left wrist? And it does have to guide your shot at least a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it does a little bit, but I guess it's the way I just held my hand, and I didn't really feel it as much until I started dribbling and trying to catch a pass every now and then. If it would just tweak, and I was just like, God. And then after that, I guess it was all right.
Unbelievable. So you found out about all that after the season, or when did you find out, or did you just say, I don't want to find out?
No, I said I didn't want to find out. I was just saying, I mean, I'm just going to go through it, whatever. And then the right one did the same thing, senior season, early season. And
Was that Bath County too?
I don't know. I thought it was taking another charge. And then that one just tweaked, and then the pain started going away. And then I went to steal a pass one game, and that's when it really hurt.
I mean, we got Mike Adams sitting over there. I was about to talk about the HIT program they got going on here.
Well, I mean, you still lit it up. I mean, 21.7 points a game for the season. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal, and I know you gave it your all during the season, and definitely with something that you had to just say, I'm just going to deal with it because it's my senior year. That's definitely the meaning of Dog of the Year.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a lot of people would play with a broken wrist, let alone two. Yeah. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Well, listen, congratulations to you two.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in and getting the awards, an actual award, and enjoy college next year.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all so much. Again, that's Brevin Ricker and Shaylin Baker, both from Menifee County. We're going to take a quick commercial break, swap it out. We'll bring some Bath County folks in, and we'll be right back.
Your colors right. It's more than gear, it's your story design. At Incoviv Designs, every thread's a sign. Helping folks see clear behind the wheel. In our hometown, heroes take the field and shine. They're right there cheering every single time. Proud sponsor, heart and soul combined. Montgomery County's got vision on the rise. Yeah.
Special thanks to Brent Wehunt, proud sponsor of our Menifee Athlete of the Month and scholarship programs.
Hey everybody, Sean here with the From Corner2Corner podcast. I wanted to take a moment and thank all of our sponsors who we're honored to be working with. Community Trust Bank, the sponsor of our great studio that we're in. Simply Secure, the sponsor of our Athlete of the Week program. Rumpke, the sponsor of our Dog of the Week and our Rumpke The Week That Was segment. Brent Wehunt, Kentucky Farm Bureau in Frenchburg, the sponsor of our Menifee County Athlete of the Month. Jacobs Vision Center, the sponsor of our Montgomery County Athlete of the Month. Swartz Mowing and Swartz Pipeline, the sponsor of our Bath County Athlete of the Month. Jacobs Auto Body. CRC Roofing and Renovations. Innovative Designs. Kaufman Funeral Home and Mortuary. And Kentucky Realty Group.
All right, we are back here with Montana Brashear, who was the winner of our Male Athlete of the Year. And then on behalf of Bath County, Mike, they were our People's Champ this year. Bath County had the most secured. Yeah, I apologize. The Simply Secure People's Champ. Bath County folks had the most votes throughout the season on our Simply Secured People's Champ posts. And so we wanted to award that as well. So
Absolutely.
you can put that in the trophy at the school or whatever you want to do with it. But
Keep it at your house. Make them come get it.
we thought athletic director probably makes the most sense. So, guys, congratulations. Thank you so much. Bath County, you guys rocked it out this year. Speaking of rocking it out, Montana, we have wanted to have you on the show a couple of times, but you play every sport.
Literally.
So we literally had to get you to quit playing in order to get you on the show. But congratulations on being our male athlete of the year. You were a superstar in all 4 sports that you played. I mean, I think the craziest stat that I thought of all of them is the fact that you had not played. Now, this is what we were being told. You had not played baseball since you was like 12, and then you just go
Even
out
better.
there.
Even
So
better.
then you just go out and decide you're going to play 16 games, hit 400 and something, have 8 out of 9 stolen bases, 11 runs. I mean, that's kind of crazy that you go 8 years without playing, and then it's like it's nothing. Who was it? Who was the player that you saw that said that Montana took his spot? Jacob Ulrey. He's like, he took my spot on the baseball team.
Probably wouldn't have said that. But that's okay. Jacob's got another year to play this coming year. So
The first football game we were at, literally, you did the pick 6 right off the bat.
School record.
Yeah.
Very first football game he ever plays in.
Yeah. And the first game that we called for Bath County.
That was the first football game you've played in high school?
Or I played one regular season game when I was a sophomore, and I played my freshman year, and I took my junior year off.
Okay, and so you all finished up your soccer season.
Yep.
And this was the second or third game into the season?
I think it was the fourth
game into the season.
Yep.
And hey, I can do this, by the way. 91 yards.
The roster wasn't updated on the sheet that we had. So on the call,
that's
you
right.
hear me call him another name. And then Scott Hamilton was like, that's Montana Brashear. It's like, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
So it was the first play of the first game, our first game ever there. And
it was kind of
we're
crazy.
just going by what the roster said.
It was crazy. And I mean, you had a great season on the soccer field as well. And then,
Goalkeeper.
Yeah. And then of course on the basketball court, you led the team in scoring and rebounds. Shot good from the free.
55-point game.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's halfway decent.
Right. So all together, it's a pretty good year, right?
Yeah.
So, before the show, we was talking. You're not going to be playing anything in college, so you basically just left it all on the field for Bath County this year.
Yeah.
I just got one question. Why didn't you do bass fishing? I mean, what was it about the fish you don't like?
I don't know if I could have found the time, to be honest.
I'm sure the track and field team would have liked to have you out there.
I would have, if we didn't. Well, our district tournament in baseball got canceled the first round because of rain.
Right.
So that got delayed. Otherwise, I would have high jumped for the region meet this year.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Wasn't for the rain.
Okay, I know there would be some players that would be like, gosh, I've done a lot and I'm wore out. I don't know if I want to go to practice. I don't want to do this because I mean you went from playing practice in July, like right after dead period for soccer, and didn't stop. You had no downtime at all for your whole senior season.
Yeah.
Until after you graduated.
Yeah. Right, until after
And
you
then
graduate.
it's kind of like, what am I supposed to do today? I mean, there's nothing to do. I don't have a sport to play.
Yeah. I definitely like keeping busy, though. But it was a big change after baseball and did not have anything to do. I actually started going to practices for basketball just to go, just have something to do. So
help the new regime.
Guys,
yeah.
Well, I mean, you're going to Moorhead, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they'll have. I promise you, they'll have plenty of intramurals up there, and you will be sought after. So, I mean, my next door neighbor dates Breckendecker, and he was definitely sought after. So, I guarantee you that you'll have plenty of time to play up there if you want.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to college for?
Finance.
Finance.
Yep.
All right.
Nice.
Learn how to cook the books. I see your game. I see your game.
So, Mike, oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to transition to Mike a little bit. I mean, it's you got to be pretty proud of Bath County showing out for most votes through the season. Helping as many students as we possibly get out there as athletes. And putting them on nominations. You got to be pretty proud of Bath County.
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, during our banquet that we had, the last thing that I said before we closed the banquet is I wanted to thank the parents and our boosters, but also our just the people in our community. We have tons and tons of donations, like trying to raise money, booster clubs for every sport. I swear our town's the best, like top notch. They show up for every sport and they give financially. And a lot of these trips and stuff that these kids go on, whether it's a baseball, softball team going all the way to Florida, cheerleading going to Florida, because they made it for the first time in a long time. Our community shows up time and time again, and I can't thank them enough because it means a lot to these kids. It really does, and I think it just shows how much our community really does appreciate just athletics in Bath County, and just wants to see a good competitive product out there.
So
go ahead.
Wes, that's twice. I'll let you go the first time. So, Mike, I mean, we talked about before we came back from commercial a little bit. You just finalized the head coaching search for the basketball team. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, his name's Jared Gambrell. He is from Oklahoma. He has ties to Eastern Kentucky. He was at U-Pike for 2 years as a player, and then it was just kind of like a lucky situation. Me being a part of other coaching staffs, and when you coach, you get a group of kids, and I tell all my players once they graduate, like, call me anytime, and I'll promise I'll answer, and if you need anything, just let me know, and it sure did. So when Perry announced that he was publicly leaving and going to Floyd Central, I get a phone call at midnight from a former player, and he was like, "Hey man, I think I have someone perfect for Bath County." And I said, "Well, please, absolutely tell them to send in, an application." And kind of the rest is history. It really did work out. I think we're truly blessed with someone that's coming in, fresh eyes, someone new, young, and so we're super excited.
Nice.
That's awesome. The path that you laid with the former players, that they're like, oh man, not only they're thinking about you, but they're thinking about Bath County at that, on that part of it. So will you continue in the assistant coaching role?
Yeah, as of right now, I told them, I'll stay on if you'll have me. So as of right now, I'm still as a head assistant under them, still wanting to work with their program. But I told them that, it could change as we continue to build up all these sports programs, depending on how much time I have. But, my main focus for Bath County is just building just a good competitive atmosphere across the board, even if it's a down year, because we graduate 8 or 9 seniors, which happens in small schools, and then not necessarily want to say rebuild, but you're definitely rebuilding back up to another big class. Like, we just stay competitive no matter what. And I think we've got some really impressive hires this year. I'm going to shout out Seth Miller. Haven't met him yet, but everything that I've heard about him is top notch. Yep. And, of course, he's in the school system as well as PE. And, we retired a bunch of teachers this year. And, we're starting to getting a younger staff inside Bath County, and I think it's a positive thing. This is going to only help grow numbers, I think, for our athletics, because when you got a guy that's young like Seth, and we're trying to get our numbers to go back up in football, kids relate more. I'm just going to be honest, they relate more to younger people now, and so he's going to be, I think, a high-intensity, energetic guy that's going to, kids are going to be like, man, I think I want to maybe try this football thing out and come out. And, when that happens and you get numbers, you can always find that diamond in the rough, and there could be a couple players you just never knew, be an athlete or something like that. So.
I mean, Sean and I attended the freshman signing, and we met Coach Miller up there.
Yeah,
and you can tell he's really energetic about getting on the field with the boys and throwing in some new offensive schemes and stuff.
We'll see if he's as good coach as his wife, who is assistant coach at Moorhead State for the women.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, those connections alone. Like I'm sure now, you know, having him and his wife coaching at Moorhead, there's a little bit of basketball connecting our girls maybe with the program. I mean, it's just so many positive things, and that's why Jared, you know, when we hired him and just looked at his resume, I mean, he has some college coaching experience. He was a GA at Lindsey Wilson, and then he was also at Brian Lane at Transy. Cool. And so for us, I mean, that's a steal, right? I mean, guy 29 has coached at the college level under some top name coaches, you know, and just for us to get a guy like that, we're just super stoked to see what, you know, what's going to happen, especially in the fall and December and the winter.
Well, congratulations to you two, you know, and best of luck to you for this upcoming school year. And
appreciate it.
You know,
hang on.
Okay.
What's one thing you're going to miss most about Bath County football?
Ooh, I like that.
You better
football?
say that.
I mean,
or the tailgate scene before the game. Whatever you want to say. Or any Bath County sport.
He played them all.
Probably just the guys. You know, like after the games, everybody, we get together, hang out, you know, listen to music. A lot of guys on the football team play guitar, so, you know, we'll sit around the fire, play guitar, chop it up. So definitely that, especially because, you know, after high school, people go do their own thing. So just making memories and, yeah, stuff like that.
We hear that a lot.
Yeah. Now you can finish.
That's okay. I was pretty much finished. Well, thank you guys for coming. And like I said, good luck at Moorhead. Good luck next year.
Appreciate it.
This won't be the last time y'all will be on here,
Well,
I'm sure.
I mean, I'm proud of our county, and let's hope we can start a new season and go back to back.
Sure.
I would love to see Bath County, you know, go out and vote and support these kids. And
there you go.
I'll see you next summer.
Challenge.
Absolutely. Challenge Bath County.
Shots fired.
Well, we're going to take a real quick commercial. When we be back, we're going to have GRC head basketball coach for the girls, Robbie Grant.
Got a dent or scratch, no need to despair. Jacob's Auto Body, we're beyond compare. Custom paint, so sleek, insurance on our side. 70 years of trust, we're your hometown pride. Jacob's Auto Body will make it like new. 859-274-7425 is the clue. Jacob's Auto Body, run the show.
Special thanks to Brent Wehunt, proud sponsor of our Menifee Athlete of the Month and scholarship programs.
Spring is here. Are you sure your roof is ready for the rain? Winter weather can leave behind hidden damage like loose shingles, cracked flashing, and clogged gutters, all of which can lead to costly leaks. At CRC Roofing and Renovations, we provide expert spring roof maintenance, leak prevention, and repairs to keep your home safe and dry. Don't wait until water damage ruins your home. Call CRC Roofing and Renovations today at 859-327-3913 or visit our website to schedule your free spring roof inspection. Protect your home with Central Kentucky's trusted roofing experts.
I still can't believe she's gone. I don't know how we're going to plan all of this.
I know. I felt the same way when your granddad passed. The Kaufman Funeral Home really helped us get through it.
Were they compassionate?
More than that, they took care of us. They made us feel like family. They handled the entire situation from beginning to end.
At Kaufman Funeral Home and Crematorium in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, we're honored to walk beside your family with dignity and compassion every step of the way.
That's exactly what we need right now.
Kaufman Funeral Home, where we believe every life is a beautiful story that deserves to be honored with love, dignity, and heartfelt celebration.
We are back here with GRC ladies basketball coach Robbie Graham. Robbie, you are here accepting 2 awards tonight. One for our girls basketball coach of the year, or girls coach of the year, should I say, and then 2 for our team of the year. Yep. So great run for you. Come up just a tad short in the championship game, but what a great season again for you and the girls. And man, I tell you, it was a heck of a run for you guys.
Yeah, it was. We fell a little bit short. We 31 minutes. We led and felt really good about situation. And then the last minute, of course, when you're playing the defending 3-4 time state champ, you got to kill them. You can't give them any life at all, and we didn't do that. And we were playing against a great team and great, well coached, very well coached, and maybe one of the best Kentucky high school girls basketball players in the history of our sport. Right. So very talented, and we knew it was going to be a tough game, and we just didn't finish the deal. But our kids, they played hard, they competed, and it was a gut-wrenching loss. But it'll motivate us to come back and work harder the off season and going into next year.
Definitely nothing to hang their head about at all. I mean,
right.
To get to that point, you've beat your top 2 teams in the state, and really, in all honesty, it was pretty much top 2 teams in the state from day one to right to that moment. So it worked out to where you all were playing on that stage where you all should have been playing. Kudos to you all. It was an awesome season.
Well, I appreciate that.
So just to let you in behind the curtain a little bit, I was updating the Facebook post quarter of the game, and 31-minute mark you talked about. I'm going ahead and I'm updating the post. I've got it almost topped out, and I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. But you lose a player like Sierra Byers, but you still have so much talent coming back. Have the girls been in the gym working already, or? Yeah,
we have. We had we took some time off. Always give them time off, so after spring break, and then we'll get back in the gym a little bit more lifting than basketball stuff. We'll individual work. So many of our girls play AU basketball, so it's we don't want to wear their bodies out with us doing stuff, and then AU basketball, and then we come back in June. We had a pretty good June when we practiced 2 or 3 days, and we got into playing summer basketball. And then the day period hits, and then all our girls are back playing AU. So we won't do much probably till August 1st. After AU, give them a little bit of time off, and we'll get back in the weight room more than anything. So we have our strength coach and does a tremendous job. Coach Daniel Chandler, does a great job with our strength conditioning program. And then when school starts back, kind of let them get acclimated, on their schedule, seeing what class will be tough, and then we'll slowly start easing in a couple of days a week, and they'll live 3 days a week, basketball 2 days a week, and then we'll increase that close we get to October.
So you've got the younger chestnut that played with you last year. You get her older sister back this year.
Yes.
How big is she going to be for your team?
Probably our best defender, on-ball defender, another really good ball handler, shoots the ball really well. So we definitely missed her, during our run. It was huge to get her back. She gets officially released, I think, August the 1st. She's been doing a little bit of stuff here and there, but she's full go August the 1st. Sorry for her. She missed the AU season, which is going to her senior year, a big recruiting season. So hopefully, we have some coach that'll see her. We'll get some film out and, help her, gain a scholarship next year. She's going to be a heck of a player for somebody.
Well, I mean, it is tough that she missed the AAU season, but I can't think of a better coach that gets the players' names out there as well as you do. I mean, you really push your players to get them in that spot where they're playing, at the next level. And I know you take pride in getting those girls, if they want to play, at the next level.
Absolutely. I think that's very important. And, when we have those discussions, and they say, Coach, I want to play next level, and they understand it may not be playing at Kentucky or Louisville or Connecticut or South Carolina or Michigan like Sierra Byers, but, there's a place for everybody to play on. My daughter went to Kansas University, played 4 years there, had a tremendous career, and very successful, and got his degree, and coaching college basketball. So I mean, there's a place for everybody if they want to play. Our the coaches in the state of Kentucky, college coaches, do a tremendous job for the most part. Smaller schools are recruiting kids in our state, and if they want to play, there's a place for them.
Absolutely.
You mentioned your daughter playing at Campbellsville. I think she's hit the sideline at RDC now, right? Is your daughter a coach at RDC?
No. She's at Bowling Green State University.
Bowling Green.
As of this morning, but she's about to probably take a new job probably this week sometime. So, but it won't be at RDC.
Not at RDC.
Yeah, she'll be in college. She's got that college bug bit her, and yes, she won't be coming back to middle school. Probably a little bit of a pay cut for her. To come
just a touch.
Yeah, from Division I to middle school girls basketball. So.
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, there's funny things we can do now.
Yeah. Now we did. Coach Juan Byers left our middle school program, and we hired his daughter, Anovia Byers. He's going to take over. Who was there as an assistant, also assistant at the high school staff. So she's going to be taking over the middle school program. Coach Byers went on to Madison Southern as the girls head coach. That's right. So that's where that comes into play. So
there you go. You guys are rocking it. I'm just enjoying the interview.
So you briefly touched on Sierra going to Michigan. When you lose a player like that, and you lost her sister the year before, what do those players kind of mean to your program, and how do you try to replace players like that?
Well, you don't replace them because they're so talented, and they're just such good leaders first and foremost. And on and off the court, they're great kids. I mean, they're both excellent students. Every other week or so, I would get a text or an email from a teacher that has, not just those kids, but a lot of our players in class, how well they behave and how much they show their leadership. Because, we want to be great people first and foremost. Our players, we talk about being a great person. That's number one. Number two, you want to be a great student. And then number three, you be the best version of yourself basketball-wise. But those are the three things that, we talk about, our culture of our program. Got to be a great person, got to be a great student, and then basketball comes into play after that. You don't replace them. That their footprint on our program will be there for years and years to come. Their leadership toward our young kids can see the pattern that they worked hard, always in the gym, staying extra, coming early, taking care of business in the classroom. So that footprint that they have laid out for our younger kids, and hopefully they can follow that, and then the next group follow that, and then the next group follow that. So we've kind of built a culture here where you want to keep that thing rolling on and off the court.
So, and Adam mentioned you was getting the older chestnut back this year. What's the rest of your senior class look like?
So we'll have a night chestnut be returning healthy back again. We have T East coming back. She's back. Probably one of the best athletes in the state of Kentucky. She won the state triple jump, long jump, and finished second in I think the 400, 200, one of them. Then we have I'm going to leave out somebody. Let's see. My seniors, T, Anaya, and then Maya, who the young lady that set out last year, didn't play last year. She's back, healthy, and be eligible to play this year. And I am leaving out somebody, and
Kennedy's not there yet, right? She's
a junior. Kylie Stakeland's a junior. Chestnut's a sophomore. Annette Miller, rising senior. So she's been in the program since 7th grade. Great kid. Looking for a big year from her. Excited to see her progress. And then I'm missing one more as we have 5 seniors. And I'm gonna.
Sorry, I didn't even put you on the spot there.
It's the summertime. Forgive Coach.
Yeah,
it's the summertime.
Please forgive.
Yeah, because whoever he's forgetting is going to rail him if they hear this.
And a text from somebody. Yeah, definitely.
Listen, I mean, you said T East, and it's T is going to make us do the Cornies a little later from now on because we kind of had the meeting, had the nominations in our head, went over all those things in this meeting, and was down here for an hour, 2 hours, something like that. And it wasn't a week or week and a half later, 10 days later, we were like, probably needed to wait for track to be over with because my goodness, I mean, it's those athletes are directly onto the basketball court.
She plays
also.
volleyball also. She's probably our best volleyball kid.
Yeah.
Go right from volleyball to basketball.
So she's the
track.
female version of Montana.
Yeah.
So
you got some.
So, and Jalen Goodwin is my other senior, my fire plug.
Oh yes,
absolute.
Yeah, she's probably. I tell people with Jalen, if a pack of lions ever came to our practice sessions, most of our girls would take off running except for her, and she would look at the lines and be like, "Which one of you I'm going to smack in the mouth first?"
Had a good AAU season with Peyton from Muncy County. That was a good team.
Yeah, and she's going to be a steal for some college program. I'm trying to help her as much as we can because somebody's going to get a great kid, tougher than heck, hard nosed, good leader. She's just a natural born leader. She'll step in that leadership role and really lead our team. So we're excited for those 5 seniors this year, and got some young kids that have gotten better. They've gotten stronger. Had some good spring and summer AU basketball. So we're really excited about next season.
Nice.
You talk about Jalen, and we had Peyton Burgess on before they went to state track, right?
Yep.
And me and her were talking about her AAU season before, and I said, well, how have you adjusted? Because it's her first time playing track. I was like, it's a little more physical. I was like, but I'll tell you this. As long as Jalen's on your team, you can say whatever you want because she's got your back.
She's got your back. She has your back for sure. So
that's fantastic. Well, Coach, congratulations again on such a great season. We were honored to be able to award those awards to you, and we're eventually going to get you to bring some players on here with you.
Yes, that period, I just.
I know. No,
in this new
100%.
House bill, I was like, man, you're trying to understand that. We have our coaching meeting tomorrow night, so we get some more clarity on. Proceeding forward with that.
It's going to be interesting to see how that even plays out with us this year.
So I'm glad you do bring. So if that is I know you all can't really have communication, but like if we wanted to get students on, like, do we need to contact the students or do coaches?
I can contact them just through
the school,
the district wide.
Gotcha. District wide. There's a new thing that we'll find out about tomorrow. They've approved, and it has to just be where the school monitors all communications.
Gotcha.
So you can contact them. So.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, "What's this corner?"
But
it's on here all over the place.
Appreciate you guys having me on, and it's an honor to receive this Coach of the Year and the Team of the Year award. And I'm excited about your guys' future and how you're growing, and you're doing great things for our area. And much respect for you. I know you're making a ton of money doing this. Joke. But I
sponsors did not hear that.
Appreciate your time and effort, and promoting our kids in our area. I mean, it's very important. And anytime I can get a chance to talk about our program and our school, I'm going to sell it. Thank you guys for everything you do, for sure.
Thank you. They're going to just drop the ball, so I won't. We're going to thank you for giving OPB Swish contact information for us. It didn't work out this weekend because it was short notice. None of us were available, but we appreciate you for even thinking about us to put that up there.
Whenever I can help you guys, I'm going to throw you out
there. I was like, you're with who? And then she's like, we're, professional or like semi-pro, and I'm like, and you want us? I was stunned. And I was like, I called all them on a conference call, and I was like, does anybody know who this is? And he's like, oh, yeah. And, of course, he knows all the players.
Well, you start looking at the roster, you're like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah, Michaela Epps, Carla Booth was a talented player
in Eastern
Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I think this is year 2. They had a lot of success last year. They made
Final 4, right?
It's just, the timing was just awful.
We'll get there.
Had she called one day earlier, it'd been fine. But I'd already bought tickets to the Legends, and my wife wanted to go to the Legends, and I was not about to upset the apple cart there. So,
she wanted to see some fireworks over there.
That's what it was. All right. Well, that was Coach Robbie Graham with GRC. We're going to take one more commercial break, and then we will be back with Jason Mays and Caden Reed from Montgomery County.
Driving by and see that light, stop on in, get your colors right. It's more than gear, it's your story design. At Incoviv Designs, every thread's a sign. Helping folks see clear behind the wheel. In our hometown hometown heroes take the field and shine. They're out there cheering every single time. Proud sponsor, heart and soul combined. Montgomery County's got vision on the rise. Yeah.
Special thanks to Brent Wehunt, proud sponsor of our Menifee Athlete of the Month and scholarship programs.
All right, we are back here with Jason Mays and Caden Reed. Jason won our Boys Coach of the Year, and Caden actually won 2 awards. Unfortunately, we broke one of the trophies today, so we've got to make a new one. But
I thought there was supposed to be 3.
We're just finding this out.
It's all right. He won our Moment of the Year, which was for the buzzer shot in the regional tournament, and then he won our MVP, Most Valuable Player. Just simply, I'll just be honest with you, the change of the team dynamic from the day you showed up changed the entire trajectory of the team, and we couldn't see someone else winning this award this year, and that says a lot about you, Caden. Literally the first game over in Fleming County against Mason County, me and Daron were there. I texted the guys. I said, "This kid's making passes I've never seen made in high school before," and they didn't believe. I'm just be honest with you. I don't watch a lot of high school basketball until we started doing this podcast, but it was crazy. We looked at the records. It was 16-2, I think, after Caden joined the team, and got all the way to the Final Four. And, lost the eventual state champion. So that's nothing to hang your hat on that part of it. So, congratulations on a great season for sure on that.
Thank you.
And then Coach.
He should have got the Coach of the Year award, too.
Made your job a little easier, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how good of a coach you become when you have good players on the floor.
Yeah.
It's an oversimplification, but it's so true. I mean, you can be John Wooden, and if you just don't have the same amount of talent as your opponent, you're going to have to consistently overachieve to stay competitive in games. And so when we added Caden, and it was also that he was the point guard, and that allowed Ethan to play to his strengths.
Right.
And there's just a lot of times I just sort of stayed out of the way, later more than early, because early he was still getting acclimated to game action. But I learned a valuable lesson with Caden this year, and a lot of coaches, I think, would have not played him in that starting point guard role in practice when he wasn't eligible. And I didn't defer from that. I in my gut, I thought this will work out long term. And so when people would see us play in like December, we were off and on. We were inconsistent. We did have some ball control issues, and it was hard. Imagine you being a player on our team, and with a starting 5, you're playing one way with a Caden Reed a point, and then come game time, he's not the 2, he's the point, or Tice is the point, and he's the wing, and then it was hard. It was confusing, and it was frustrating because they knew what we were in practice and they saw what we were doing in a game. But I think over the course of time, keeping the long-term perspective, I think it all worked out very well.
We've talked about it numerous times. I mean, when he finally hit the floor in the game and going forward, you could just see the guys play at their natural position. And just like you said, they've been practicing that way, and you could just see it happen when you took the floor.
Well, and it makes that whole thing sound a whole lot. It's like, oh yeah,
right.
Even more reason for you to win Coach of the Year, because, like you said, a lot of coaches may not have done that. It was a bold move, Cotton, and it paid off, right?
And it also allowed our players who needed to adjust to another role the ability to do that, whether they were happy at the time for that or not. And then it also allowed him to see my confidence in his abilities on a daily basis. So there were several reasons, but the lesson learned was don't sacrifice a shortcut in the short term because of pain. Keep the long term in focus. And so I was embarrassed. Some of our games early, I was embarrassed. I walked off the floor embarrassed. Man, I'm a bad coach. I'm a bad human being. I'm ugly. Why'd my wife marry me?
We remember some of those post-game interviews.
So, it's just, you have to, who was it? Tony Bennett and his father, Dick Bennett, once said, you have to lose with the team before you win with the team. And I always thought that was the stupidest comment I've ever heard in coaching. But the longer you do this, the more that's a true statement. And, if you're going to win with a team, you've got to have a team that you go through adversity with first. And, we did that with our team last year, and we did it at the beginning of this season with this team.
Caden, I don't know if I've ever seen a high school kid just absolutely take pride in being the villain in any gym he steps in, but it was almost like you thrived on it. The more they booed you, the better you got. Is that something you always have done?
Well, I like it because it gets me going, gets me fired up, and then also teammates they can feel it too, so they're right with me. They're like, so I've always been like the guy. Just you boo me, I'll just show you that you can't boo me no more.
And you thrived in tight moments. So, how many?
He only had 4 buzzer shots this year.
Yeah, I think it was actually more because there was some before, at the end of the first quarter or some at halftime or something like that. I mean, to win games, tie game up versus Fleming County, to win the game versus Highlands. Obviously,
GRC.
The game versus GRC.
And then the first game of the state tournament, he had one at halftime.
Right, yeah, you hit one. Going into halftime versus Great Crossing to keep that lead going to the halftime. And what was the feeling versus in the regional final? You come down, you've got 12 seconds left, somewhere around in there. Maybe it was a little bit longer, but you come down and coach don't call a timeout. I mean,
My assistants were calling me very bad names at that moment.
I think there was 87 passes there in the last 6 seconds.
Did you know? I mean, as soon as you crossed the line, you were like, "All right, this is what we're gonna do." And, I'm gonna go here first, and we're just gonna work it around. I mean,
I was supposed to go to the middle of the court, and I went back and got the ball. He told me to go to the middle because I was trying to get in the middle of the zone.
If we get the ball in the middle of the floor with the ball in his hands, a good decision is going to happen. Whether he scores it or he kicks out to somebody, he's going to be the decision maker one way or the other. So, I wasn't wrong. Yeah. It's just he wasn't wrong either.
Yeah, I just seen Tez switch the spots from where he was at, and I was like, I'm gonna just go get it. And then I don't know what I thought after I hit it. Actually, I was just running around, jumping up and down.
I mean,
everywhere.
We've watched it over and over and over again, obviously. And the first pass inside, and then it comes back out to Andrew, and we were like, Andrew had a clear shot, and then so he didn't shoot it. So and then Tice got it, and Tice had the lane on Montez, to go up and lay it up with the left hand. We were like, he could have done that too, and it got passed back around, and ultimately ended up in your hands, and you were like, okay, this is the way it was supposed to be. Yeah.
Well, I think they also just trusted me to make the right play.
Exactly.
And, they all.
You know,
I really didn't shoot a lot of game winners. Blake, my brother, always did, so it was just, you know what I'm saying? So this year was kind of different, and I'm glad they trusted me to take them because I took almost all of them.
You know, it's funny in those moments in coaching. That last play was, anybody thinks that that's anything I did, you don't know basketball. I stood there and watched it just like you guys did.
Yeah.
Only thing I made a decision was just to let our players determine the outcome, whether we go in overtime or we win the game. I wasn't going to let Josh have a timeout to run and jump, to trap first pass, to switch matchups, get his defensive organized, show zone, go man, vice versa. You know, I wasn't going to, because he's such a good coach, you got to take that aspect out of it, you know. So he was watching it just like I was watching it.
Right.
When I was at Ashland, we were 22-0 at the time. This is our undefeated season, and we go into West Carter, and I didn't like the way we were playing. Every win was like a relief. Like, okay, we didn't lose, you know, and that was eventually going to catch us. And we had played not very well, and West Carter was a physical team. They were a good team, and so we were down either 2 or 1 with less than 2.5 seconds to go, and had to go full court. And I called press. I called sides go, and I was going to have our 5 come up catch the play that we beat Fleming County on.
Yep.
Where you kind of have boom and hand off that same play. That was the play I called, and we broke huddle. Cole Villers tells Nolan Phillips to throw him the ball, or he was going to probably burn his house down. Not in those exact words, but Cole was more scared of Cole, or I'm sorry, Nolan was more scared of Cole than he was me. Okay, so he made sure Cole got the ball. Cole catches, goes sideline, one dribble, boom, hits a 61-footer, and it was also ESPN number 1 top 10 play.
Right.
And again, that was a confident player leading his team, not a coach leading his team, and that is not a bad thing.
Right.
You know, and so I've been a part of 2 of those now, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Well, I mean, it was. It was the shot heard around the state. That's for sure. It was a crazy call. Adam and I about both lost our voices on that call that night. Wes was on the camera, so I mean we had multiple angles of it. That was the interesting part about that night is anywhere you looked on Twitter or Facebook, there was 100 different views of that shot.
It was.
Do you guys have regrets from that night? I have one. I have a big one.
I don't.
After the game. So what am I supposed to do after the game? Before I go speak to you guys, first of all, I don't usually go in the locker room after a game, win or lose. That's just that's old Dean Smith. You know, you win, and they're ready to get out of there. If you lose, you're going to be over emotional. Tell it to them tomorrow. Sleep on it. You know, and it always made sense to me. So I really don't go in the locker room much after a win or a loss. So, you know, I usually go do my radio interview with Dan Manley, right, who we all love and respect. I forgot to go do my radio interview.
Oh no!
Sure did. And he is such a classy man. He let me have the moment and didn't come get me or anything. And it says a lot about Dan.
Yep.
But I forgot to do my radio interview.
When did you figure that out?
When Dan and I were 2 of the last people walking out of the gym that night.
And you just realized you went, oh no.
He said, you know, you forgot about me and Ivan. I'm like, I felt about that. And I said, why didn't you send somebody to come get me? He's like, you needed that moment. And, you know, so I regret forgetting that.
It was pandemonium because, you know, when the student section emptied out and was all on the floor and, you know, everybody was on the floor getting pictures after the trophy. I mean, it was something to behold because there hadn't been, being around the basketball program since right before COVID hit, there hadn't been that excitement for a game. There hadn't been that much, that big of a crowd. I feel like
it was an amazing crowd.
For a region tournament, and I mean, all schools really showed out for all of their teams. All the whole week, the whole 2 weeks.
We had the best regional championship crowd of any regional championship game in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah.
I can feel it because I think they were all standing on top of us.
So,
I mean,
we did not have any room.
Yeah, I mean, no room to breathe. I mean, when you leaned back that much, you were bumping into somebody because they were right over our shoulders watching. And I told the guys afterwards, I said, next year, we put some tape down on the floor. Because, I mean, literally, we were so tense.
Yeah.
Because we stood the whole game.
Yeah.
And it was unlike anything that I had ever been a part of, for sure.
Well, the fact that people were so close to us wasn't the problem. It was we couldn't communicate back and forth between the four of us on, like, during timeouts when we go to commercial and come back. I couldn't even tell them we were coming back from commercial because they could not hear me.
Hey, and going to the bathroom, forget that. You wasn't getting there. I mean, there was so many people in there.
Have an extra Coke bottle there.
Yeah, man, I tell you.
We had to move Jessica down on the steps selling T-shirts.
Yeah.
There were so many people in there.
It was a wonderful ending, for a lot of things. It was Caden's, E's and Dane's last home game, something they'll always remember. There were a lot of people who hadn't been to a Montgomery County basketball game in a number of years that came back to watch us play that night. And so it's also a wonderful beginning of many other things to come. And so I'm excited to see how we build off that. Now, it's harder to sustain excellence than it is to achieve it once. And so now the harder part begins. But, if we wouldn't have had, just the commitment, what you guys got to understand is, picture this in the workplace, okay? Somebody new comes in and they move your role to another role and put somebody new in your role. How do you feel about that? Imagine that happening in our locker room at 3 or 4 different positions and with 3 or 4 different guys. So we have the chance to lose our locker room, so to speak, from a cohesive standpoint. And a lot of people think that coaching is about X's and O's. It's a lot about that and managing those personalities and those egos and those expectations. But even coaches, they can't do that. It has to be player-led. So it's a lot of Caden being humble enough to serve first and lead because of his servant leadership. And then other guys willing to allow him to have those moments. And so it was just a beautiful thing of teamwork and team building that it's often hard to replicate. So.
And that was... That whole serving, that gaining the respect and stuff was very evident the first few games we played because wasn't really doing a lot of scoring in the first few games, but playing on the defensive end and getting several assists and stuff like that. And then it just kind of started clicking on the offensive end for sure on that part of it.
So Caden, you're going to Texas. What college is it that you're going
Midland.
to? Midland. Midland. Midland College in what town in Texas?
Midland.
Oh,
Midland.
In Midland.
Have you watched Landman?
Yes.
Oh gosh,
I have seen Ring Man.
No, Landman.
Oh yeah,
Landman's
That's
good.
Midland,
That's where
Texas.
that's at.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can throw a rock and hit New Mexico.
Gotcha.
West Texas, oil patch.
And then you're the only freshman that they recruited, right?
High schooler.
High school.
I believe. Yeah.
So are you excited to get down there? Start the grind all over again?
Yeah, I'm excited. Big time.
Yeah.
When are you supposed to report down there?
August 14th.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Anybody here for you now?
It's going to be really hard. I think he's crazy enough to actually like that. I mean, I'm serious. Like he's best when he can expose that chip.
Yeah.
Right. Coaching players with chips on their shoulders is not always an easy thing to do because if it goes south, how do they navigate the adversity and the disappointment. And fortunately with him, you have to let him play with that chip. You have to let that be a part of who he is. Now, his part of that was not getting technicals and respecting officials more, and and he did. I think he did a great job of that. He had, how many technicals you have? 2, 1. How many did you have your year before?
0.
Your sophomore year?
No, 1 my sophomore year. My freshman year was terrible. I had like 6, 7.
So he had this reputation, but and so that's who he is. He has this moxie about him that if you suppress it, you're going to suppress the player. And so he's going into an environment where he's going to be low man on totem pole. I mean, they got half their team's going to be Division I transfers. They've got kids in his position that have played mid-major Division I basketball already and averaged almost double-digit points. So I think it's a beautiful thing to watch, to see him succeed in this, because he's going to have to figure it out. He's going to have to understand it's going to be bad before it gets good, and he's going to have to navigate those waters. And but I think he's crazy enough to sort of like that. And I think if you give him something easy, he gets bored.
Well, I mean, this was a challenge, having to wait and, having that gym. And that's just going to be that step-up challenge that I'm positive you'll take within stride.
Mm-hmm. So we were blessed to have him. We were blessed to have all our guys, all our seniors, Caden, Eden, and Ethan, and Dane, who I think Dane's in Germany, I believe.
Yep.
And,
we went to a Reds game the other day.
And, we're just great young men that, you guys, if you have this show 20 years from now, you can bring them back and they're all still going to be connected.
Yeah.
It's just sports and athletics and locker rooms and team building. It's rare. It's such a special thing when it's done the right way. And we're really proud of Caden. Really proud of his family too. They've been through a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they had to step away and just sort of let him fight his own fight with a coach he hadn't played for before. And everything was new, and it was a beautiful thing when it was all said and done.
And to bring up the basketball program a little bit, you got 2 new assistant coaches?
I do. We do, I should say. I love our staff. I'm really excited. I think our staff has evolved every year. Not that our previous staffs were bad. They were great. I mean, everybody we've had as an assistant has become a head coach or a college assistant. And so we have hired 2 new guys that both have been head coaches. So now all 3 of our full-time assistants have been head coaches. We hired Tanner Glancy. Tanner was the interim head coach at West Carter last year. He played at West Carter. He's from Olive Hill, and has been very loyal to that program for a long time. And when Coach Webb stepped down, I guess for like a sabbatical year this past year, he took over and had a good response from the kids. Did a good job of probably getting the most he could have gotten out of those kids, which says a lot about a coach. And I think he's ready to grow and see some new things and step out of his comfort zone. And so the thing about hiring head coaches that are no longer head coaches, I've been one of those guys. You're humbled. Usually that humility equates to hungriness. Humility creates hungriness. If you're humbled, you're hungry. And when you get these hungry coaches that want to prove that they deserve to be a head coach, they come in here and they work their tail off. We also hired a guy named Michael Jones. Michael was the interim head coach this past year at Dunbar, Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. And one of my former players was the head coach there, George Baker, had some health issues, and Michael was his assistant and took over on an interim basis. Michael's a unique guy. He's a very successful entrepreneur, certified strength coach, owns, I think, 5 gyms. He is a coach for the United States Olympic boxing team. He's actually going to teach our kids how to box this fall. Our kids are going to get in the ring and they're going to box. I think it'll help their confidence and just I think I was the world's worst boxer for a while, just from an exercise standpoint, and I loved every bit of it, and I think our kids will too. He also it's just he's been a skills coach and a clinician at the NBA Top 100 camp and the Nike Skills Academy camp. He's been on the floor with Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant at those camps and clinics. So he's an interesting guy, and his skill development is next level. I'm old, fat, and white, bald, and I can tell him what to do. I can't demonstrate how to do it anymore. Wasn't great at it even when I could. He's one that can, still get out and develop players. And I think at the high school level, if you lack in that, it'll show eventually in your play. And so we still have Neil Terry, Andrew's father, used to be the head coach at Owsley County. And then we have Bill Kilgore as a volunteer assistant. A lot of people here know Bill, retired minister from Gateway Christian. And I hope he's listening. I'm trying to get Deuce Rawls to also be a volunteer and be our freshman coach this year.
Gotcha.
Deuce is a former player, played at Transy, and I've talked to him about it. And if we can bring him in the fold, we'll have those five. We also have Dylan Young, who volunteers for us during the season. He has a big cattle operation that he does during the non-basketball season.
Right.
And Dylan also is a former player.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna Lucas Witt's gonna be he's gonna be one of our student assistants with Carter Kaufman. But Lucas wants to be a coach or go into sports journalism. I know you have had him on.
Yep.
Lucas wants to be a manager at UK. And we're going to put a lot of responsibility on Lucas. He's going to head our analytics. He's going to head our film exchange and our advanced scouting. And so, I think we got a great niche of people that are all, at the end of the day, investing in our kids to help them develop as a person and give them championship experiences.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Coach Tapp.
Oh, I cannot.
And Spence.
Well, so, Coach Larry Tapp, a lot of people know Coach Tapp. Coach Tapp was principal at the middle school for years. He coached a lot of people who are now fathers of our age now, back when they were in middle school. Coach Tapp comes around when he can. He's such a calming presence, but he'll always be around and have a place on our staff anytime he wants. I'm assuming he's still planning on coming and being a part of our program. He's texted me a few times this summer. And then Spencer, one of our managers, and he'll be a sophomore. And he might be the most popular guy in the whole program. So, it takes a village. And I'm excited. I'm going to do a better job of delegating things, and I'm going to give up some control, some things, to be a better version of myself as a coach. And so we're excited to get started. We're in dead period right now, but we start workouts back on Thursday.
Nice.
All right, so we're going to take one last commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to find out the winner of our color wars. As you can see, the cases are covered up. They're hidden. But the new winners are behind that. We'll be right back.
Don't peek.
I still can't believe she's gone. I don't know how we're going to plan all of this.
I know. I felt the same way when your granddad passed. The Kaufman Funeral Home really helped us get through it.
Were they compassionate?
More than that, they took care of us. They made us feel like family. They handled the entire situation from beginning to end.
At Kaufman Funeral Home and Crematorium in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, we're honored to walk beside your family with dignity and compassion every step of the way.
That's exactly what we need right now.
Kaufman Funeral Home, where we believe every life is a beautiful story that deserves to be honored with love, dignity, and heartfelt celebration.
Helping folks see clear behind the wheel. When our hometown heroes take the field and shine, they're out there cheering every single time. your colors right. It's more than gear, it's your story design. At Incoviv Designs, every thread's a sign.
All right, we are back. So, just as we was talking about prior to the commercial, we are wrapping up our color wars today. We've been voting for the last 2 weeks. All 4 communities have been voting, and the winners have been determined and have been hung. Caden, if you don't mind on that side, if you'll grab that side, I'm going to grab this side. And as you can see
it, Moco on top
has outvoted the competition.
And it wasn't even close. Wes, give the final numbers.
The final numbers were 533 total votes. 276 of those were for Montgomery County.
Nice.
I think Bath County was second.
Bath
Menifee
County
was third, and GRC was fourth.
Yes, but
Look,
we didn't have
Beth Willoughby commented a few weeks ago, and she said, "How did we let our home podcast get out?" She was tore up that Bath County won the People's Champion Award.
Right, exactly.
So I think Beth Willoughby might have been out there driving this this bus to get Montgomery County back on top.
Ever since she made that comment.
Yeah.
Moco has won every commenting contest.
Montgomery County out. So. Well, guys, congratulations again on great season. Caden, best of luck to you in Midland. Coach, we look forward to another great season here. We're coming off of calling on the huddle for the first season, so we excited for season 2 on that. Thanks to everybody that has tuned in and watched this tonight. It's been an amazing evening. It started with a ribbon cutting at 5 o'clock. We had all kinds of people from the community show up for that. We had a full house in here eating food. Thanks to Wes's dad for fixing the barbecue for us. Thanks to what's Jones' first name? Christy Jones from Bath County. I just left my head for fixing the bologna burn-ins. We're awesome as always.
You're not getting any when you go do a football game now.
And
Wes, that's why I asked for it.
Right. So, but again, thanks to everybody. Thanks to all of our Cornie winners for coming and spending this night with us. You didn't have to, and that just shows that we're doing something right with this podcast. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to Rumpke and Swartz Mowing and Swartz Pipeline for joining the family for this season. We're still looking for a coaches show sponsor, and we're still looking for somebody in GRC to step up and be our GRC Athlete of the Month. So we have 3 of the 4 taken care of, but we need somebody over in GRC to step forward and help us with that program so we can celebrate these kids even more. Moving forward, you're going to see, as we get into the sports season, we're going to have a little bit. We're going to cover more sports. It's not all going to be about the interview. We're going to be a high school sports show. We're going to talk about that like we talked about at the beginning of the show, and then we're going to wrap the show up talking about what's to come this week. Yep. Where are we going to be? What games are to watch? So we're going to be a little bit more diligent about what we're doing this year.
Well, Sean, we can go ahead and start that because here's where we'll be this week. And by will, I mean my boys. Montgomery County Youth Basketball has a summer league going on right now. Sign your kids up. July 10th, 6 to 8 p.m. is the times every Tuesday and Thursday for the month of July. 6 to 8 p.m. Registered July 10th at the door. Get your kids out. Let's get basketball. Let's build the next Caden Reed.
Teamsideline.com
Teamsideline.com
Montgomery County YB.
There you go.
We'll share it out. We will. We'll get something on our Facebook page. So keep your eye out for it.
Awesome.
Hey, before you guys leave,
Yes,
my daughter's saying that she's happy that I finally get an award for being corny. So.
I can feel Reagan's face getting red right now as you say.
Literally, you don't even have to see it. You know it's happening.
You know what she got me for Father's Day?
What's that?
A whole 365 cards of dad jokes, corny dad jokes.
Oh no!
Nice. Nice. Well, that's awesome. Well, guys, it's been a great success. Awesome night. Next Tuesday night, special night, we will have Chris Cobb and the senior bass fishing team on the show, and it's just going to be me and Daron next week. So that'll be fun. So tune back in next Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Chris Cobb and the bass fishing team as we're getting ready to start the 2025-2026
stick
season.
around long enough to see the jersey unveiled. But he did notice that it was missing from the room.
Yeah, he did notice.
As the first thing when he walked in the door, he said,
"Jersey?
Where'd my bass fishing jersey go?" Because he knew it hung right there.
Well, we've made these easier to take down now. So we're going to try to make sure that we switch these out with the season.
I was getting ready to say, if you had coach sitting right here, and you're like, "Oh, there's not a basketball jersey."
Well, it's not basketball season.
What?
It's going to be football and basketball.
It's bass fishing season all the time.
And we need a soccer jersey from.
I got that covered.
So
We are a esports bass fishing and softball school.
You're right.
Seriously.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks for everything. We'll catch you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we wrap up today's episode, we want to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to the sponsors who make this show possible. Your support means more than words can truly say. You've helped us grow, stay consistent, and continue sharing stories that matter to our community. A huge thank you to Community Trust Bank for being a cornerstone of local support and believing in our mission from the start. Incovative Designs for bringing creativity and color to our world. Your designs speak volumes. CRC Roofing and Renovations for building stronger homes and stronger communities with every project you complete. Kentucky Realty Group for helping families find more than just houses. You help them find home. Jacobs Auto Body for keeping our rides smooth and our vehicles looking sharp. Your attention to detail doesn't go unnoticed. Simply Secure for keeping what matters most safe and secure. Peace of mind is priceless, and you deliver it every day. Brent We Hunt with Kentucky Farm Bureau in Frenchburg for being more than just an agent, for being a trusted neighbor and advocate for your clients. Jacobs Vision Center for helping us see more clearly, not just through our lenses, but through your dedication to care. Kaufman's Funeral Home and Mortuary for handling life's most difficult moments with grace, compassion, and dignity. Your service is a comfort to so many. To each and every one of you, thank you for believing in us. This podcast thrives because of your generosity and your commitment to community. We're proud to have you as part of the family. Until next time, take care, stay connected, and as always, thank you for listening.
The Moco Four Horsemen would like to thank you for listening to From Corner to Corner. Be sure to go out and follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube. Whatever podcast platform that you listen to us on, be sure to go out and give us a 5-star review. Thanks as always, and we look forward to seeing you next week.